Alright guys, it's now time for another one of those cool doors response videos. He didn't do any DVD collection video like this, but it just gave me an idea, which in this video I'm going to talk about my favorite sports films. You know, movies about sports, you know, football, baseball, basketball, soccer, tennis, hockey, golf, volleyball, bowling, that kind of thing. Let's get started with the DVDs here. Like I said, these are films that I would consider some of my favorite sports films, and I didn't pick every single sports movie in my collection, and it doesn't mean that the greatest movie of all time or my favorite movies of all time, but it's ones that I really enjoyed and ones that I think you should really check out. First movie I picked is a biographical sports film, American Underdog, with Zachary Levi, Anna Paquin, and Dennis Quaid. I remember seeing it in theaters last year when it first came out. It all started when Zachary Levi falls in love with Anna Paquin, a single mom with 2 kids he sees at a line dance at a country bar. Levi wanted to start playing at some college football, and then the Green Bay Packers would give him a chance to try out. After an awful tryout, he got himself evicted by their coach and ended up being homeless, and he had to live with Anna Paquin in her basement. He started working as stocking shelves at a supermarket. His girlfriend's parents sold their house and moved to another state, putting him into a tough situation. While driving the Blizzard, their car runs out of gas, and Zachary Levi walks several miles to the nearest gas station to borrow something to help pump up the gas. Bruce McGill offers him as a quarterback position in the Arena Football League, and assign him a team called the Iowa Barnstormers. The couple woke up, and Paquin's parents got killed in a tornado, and then after that the couple decided to resume their relationship. After the two got married, the AFL team had a heartbreaking loss in the Arena Bowl, and Zachary Levi is given another chance when he gets invited to a tryout by the St. Louis Rams. They defeated the Tennessee Titans with a 13-win and 3-loss record, and Zachary Levi and Anna Paquin continued their marriage with 7 kids. If you're an NFL fan like me, you definitely gotta check this one out. The next one I picked is the original Bendis Bears. This is a classic baseball movie starring the late, great Walter McDowell and Tatum O'Neal. I'm sure everybody has seen this movie, and I also have the remake with Billy Bob Thornton. I do like the remake a little better than the original because, but they're both really fun movies, and in the remake I thought Billy Bob Thornton did a really good job and was really funny. And they both used the same film locations, but check these out. I know a lot of people were gonna say, "Ew, why you like the remake? That one was shit." But I like it. I know it was funny. Billy Bob Thornton was funny. All the kids were really good. Just check this one out. Check these both out. I recommend the sequels to the original, even though the remake is better. But everyone's opinion is that they like the original better. I'm talking about this one. That's the original. The next one I picked is another baseball comedy, and it's The Benchwarmers with Rob Schneider, David Spade, and John Heder. This is a really hilarious movie. I know a lot of people didn't really seem to care for it, but I liked it. It's about these 3 guys who see this kid getting picked on by a bunch of little league bullies. The bullies are a little league baseball team who have no respect for anything. And so the 3 guys meet this kid's dad, who is a billionaire. He comes up with this program where the 3 guys go up against all the little league teams from the state to prove that everyone should play baseball and have respect for one another. It's a really funny movie. And the next one I picked is another biographical sports film, The Blind Side with Sandra Bullock. Quinn Aaron, a homeless black teen, has driven in and out of the school system for years. Then Sandra Bullock and her husband, Tim McGraw, take him in. The toys, or whatever you pronounce it. The toys. It's hard for me to pronounce it. The toys eventually became Aaron's legal guardians, transforming both his life and theirs. Aaron's tremendous size and protective instincts make him a formidable force on the gridiron, and with help from his new family and devoted tutor, he realizes his potential as a student and football player. I watched this movie a lot when I was in high school. Most people think it's very entertaining. If you want to see this, it's another show sports film I highly recommend. The next one I picked is Caddyshack. If you're a golf person who likes golf movies, this is the top one that a lot of people think of this, and Happy Gilmore. And I know, and I'm going to show Happy Gilmore when I do the VHS tapes. If you're a golf player, this movie needs no introduction. Just watch this one. One of the best sports movies, one of the best sports comedies of the early 80s that stars Chevy Chase, Bill Murray, and Rodney Dangerfield. How could you go wrong? And the next one I picked is Celtic Pride, with Damon Wayans, Daniel Stern, and Dan Aykroyd. In this movie, Daniel Stern and Dan Aykroyd are disconsolate after watching the Boston Celtics lose a game in the NBA Finals, so they hatch a far-fetched scheme to sabotage Damon Wayans, the star of the opposing team, who is known for his love of nightlife, by getting very drunk and thus too hungover to perform in the next game. After the two inadvertently kidnap the player instead, they divert about whether or not to release their captive. I'm a huge Boston Celtics fan, except when they lost against the Golden State Warriors in the 2022 NBA Finals. And the next one is another football movie, but it's also satirization of some inspirational sports movies, and it's The Comebacks, which is another funny film. Now, this is the unrated version that features 19 minutes of extended footage. But this is about, hold on. But this is about David Koechner playing as a football. But this is about David Koechner playing as a football coach who gets an offer to play for Texas, to go down there and be a coach for a college football team. And it's really funny of what he does with them and what he gets them to do to be a team and act like a team and get them to play better and win. And not only that, but they satirize a bunch of classic sports movies. I know a lot of people are going to hate this movie, but just give this one a chance if you really like an outrageous comedy or film satirizing stuff. And next one I picked is Everyone's Hero, which features the voices of William H. Macy, Rob Reiner, Raven Simone, and Ruby Goldberg. This film took place in 1932 when Yankee Irving took a talking baseball home with him from the Sandlot and brought dinner to his dad. His mom made for him while he was working late. His dad was a custodian at the Yankee Stadium until he ended up getting fired the morning after Lefty McGinnis stole Beetle's lucky bat in the New York Yankees locker room. So Yankee and the baseball set up on the journey to find Beetle's bat before the Yankees lose the World Series. It took him a few days for Babe to get his bat back, and it took him a few days for Babe to get his bat back. So he told Yankee before he can play ball, "It's not the bat, it's the batter." So Yankee got 2 strikes and he ended up with a home run, and they all find out that Lefty cheated, so he gets kicked off the team and gets arrested. I've seen this movie countless times in my childhood. Another good film to watch, except when Babe Ruth's bat got stolen, scared me as a kid. And the next one I picked is Glory Road, which is not based on a sci-fi novel by Robert A. Heinlein. After being appointed the new coach of the 1966 Texas Miners, Josh Lucas decides to build a team based on talent rather than race. The conservative townsfolk balk at the new racially diverse lineup despite the fact that the team was winning all their games. When black players like Derek, Luke, and team captain Makad Brooks begin to dominate the court with flashy moves, the racial tension increases, jeopardizing the future of the team. This is another sports movie I watched in high school. Definitely gotta see this. And the next one I picked is a series of martial arts films, and it's the Karate Kid 5 movie collection. I only like the first one from 1984 and the 2010 remake with Jaden Smith and Jackie Chan. These are both really good. I mean, I can't figure out which one I like better. The original one I think a lot of people like because it's most well known and features Mr. Miyagi, the old wise martial arts teacher. But the remake is about Jaden Smith moving from Detroit to China and him meeting Jackie Chan, who teaches him karate and learn how to defend himself because he's having trouble fitting in because it's a new country and stuff. The other 3 movies between those two, I thought they're okay. All 5 of those I highly recommend. I already got rid of the DVD of the Karate Kid remake itself so I can have the upgrade of the 5 movie collection. And the next one I picked is another soccer comedy, and it's Kicking and Screaming with Will Ferrell. A lot of people say this isn't one of the best Will Ferrell movies, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was hilarious. But it's about Will Ferrell who was never able to live up to the demands of his overbearing father, who wanted him to be an athlete. Now, apparent himself, Phil has inherited his father's competitive nature, while his son has inherited Will Ferrell's lack of athletic talent. Serving as his son's soccer coach, Will Ferrell hopes to turn his last place team of losers into champions so they can beat the rival team coached by his father. My mom's opinion is that I don't like soccer, but I don't even care what she says. A kid kicking the ball at an opposing player in the testicles, that scene was hilarious. And the next one I picked is another Roger Gentry movie, but a lot like Kaisek, but it's another soccer movie, and it's Ladybugs. And it also stars Jonathan Brandis, and they both passed away a long time ago. Ronnie Dangerfield passed away a little bit after Jonathan Brandis did. Jonathan Brandis' passing was in 2003, and Roger Dangerfield's passing was in 2004. This was a great movie for both of them, and I miss Roger Dangerfield. He's just as great. This is about him getting stuck coaching a girls' soccer team sponsored by his boss's company, and his boss says that if he can't come up with a winning team, he's going to get fired. So Dangerfield get his fiance's son, who's a good soccer coach, to dress up like a girl to help him out with the team and help out Rodney Dangerfield. This is a really funny movie. I especially like the part when Rodney Dangerfield gets thrown out of the bar. And the next one is actually a remake with stars Adam Sandler, and it's The Longest Yard. Whoops. Wrong one. Oh, no, never mind. Sorry, And the next one I picked is a basketball comedy, and it's Like Mike with Lil Bow Wow, John Lipnicki, and Morris Chestnut. This is about a Lil Bow Wow's character who plays an orphan who always got bullied and pushed around. And one day he finds this old pair of Nike sneakers that apparently are magic and are used to belong to Michael Jordan. Then the next day he goes on to an NBA game and wins some contest during the halftime show. And then the coach and the manager of Los Angeles Knights decided that he's eligible to play in the NBA, even though he's just a kid. But he plays really, really well. One of his favorite players, played by Morris Chestnut, as his mentor. This is another funny film, and also stars Crispin Glover, who you may remember playing George McFly on the first film, the Back to the Future trilogy. Alright. Now the next one is actually a remake, which stars Adam Sandler. And it's The Longest Yard. It also stars Chris Rock, Burt Reynolds, William Fichtner, James Cromwell, and a few others. And Burt Reynolds is also in the original, so he was in this one too. But in the original one, when he played Paul Crewe, but in this one, he plays the coach. I miss Burt Reynolds. This movie is basically about Adam Sandler's character who gets arrested for drunk driving, high-speed pursuit, and stolen vehicles, so he gets sentenced to prison for 3 years, and the warden organizes as a football team for the prisoners to play the guards. And Adam Sandler becomes a coach for a while, but then Burt Reynolds takes over as a coach, and he teaches them how to play football, and this is a funny film. I didn't know Adam Sandler would know much about making a sports movie, but that one was really good. And the next one is another football movie, which is an inspirational one. Now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would know about, and it's Lucas of Corey Haim, Charlie Sheen, Cary Green, and Winona Ryder. And this is about a kid who's basically the smallest kid in school, and he apparently doesn't have very much in life. But he meets Cary Green's character and falls in love with her. When he finds out that she has a boyfriend, he decides to join a football team to help her win over. And this is another inspirational sports comedy. I know I don't really have much to say about these, but it's really hard to explain. But I'm trying to explain the plots in the movie in the best way I can. And the next one I picked is another sports film with Charlie Sheen, and but this time it's baseball, and it's Major League, which also stars Tom Berenger and Corbin Burnson. Margaret Whitten is the new owner of the Cleveland Indians, and also a former showgirl who has a sweetheart deal to move the team to Miami. But to break the lease with the city of Cleveland, ticket sales have to plummet. So Margaret Whitten hires the most incompetent players available, including Charlie Sheen, a near-blind pitcher, and Tom Berenger, an injury-prone catcher. But her villainous tactics accidentally foster can-do team spirit, turn the Indians into potential winners. I'm not going to bother getting the sequels because they each have different movie ratings and also aren't as good as the first one. And the next movie I like to talk about is a cult classic and is one of the most popular baseball movies ever, and it's The Sandlot. I'm pretty sure everybody's heard of this or seen it. And this is about a kid who's new in town and summertime is on its way, and all he wants to do is make friends, and he likes baseball. So he meets up with the leader of these Sandlot kids, and all he has to do is to I'm sorry. This is about a kid who was new in this town, and summertime is on its way, and all he wants to do is make friends, and he likes baseball. So he meets up with the leader of these St. Louis kids, and all he has to do is catch a ball and throw a baseball in order to fit in. He fits in, and then later they had a whole bunch of fun during the summer, and then later on he swiped his dad's prized possession baseball signed by Babe Ruth, and he accidentally hits a home run over the neighbor's fence. But the neighbor has this dog that any kid wants, and a lot of those kids are afraid to go over the fence, so they think of ways to get the ball back. Like I said, this is a cult classic, and everybody's familiar with this movie, and there's so many quotable lines, so many funny lines. Definitely check this one out if you haven't. And the next one I picked is Space Jam: A New Legacy with LeBron James. This is a bootleg copy. The movie's about LeBron James parenting his two sons, Darius and Dominic. With basketball careers, Dominic aspires to become a video game developer. They and LeBron's childhood friend Malik were invited to Warner Bros. Studios to discuss a film deal. LeBron and Dominic were arguing about him being interested in the Warner 3000 software. Don Cheadle's character lures him into the basement server room and traps them in the Warner Bros. Serververse. LeBron James was sent to the Toon World where every Looney Tunes character was abandoned except for Bugs Bunny. So they both used Marvin's spacecraft to travel various worlds to locate and recruit the other Looney Tunes to form the Toon Squad. During the game, Don Cheadle explains that if the Toon Squad loses, everyone will have to remain in the Sevierverse, and moreover, the Looney Tunes will be deleted, and the Toon Squad did the amazing comeback against the Goon Squad, and LeBron James apologizes to Dominic for not listening to his ideas, so he forgives his dad and joins the Toon Squad. When the game's over, the Looney Tunes and the Sevierverse are restored, and LeBron James, his family, and the other real world spectators are returned to the world as Bugs reconciles with his friends, being deleted, and as Bugs reconciles with his friends before being deleted. Respecting Dominic's wishes, LeBron James allows him to attend the E3 game design camp. Bugs Bunny made the ultimate sacrifice, but was revealed to be alive at the end of the movie. He lived by the family code and sacrificed his life to save the Looney Tunes from deletion. I like this first Space Jam with LeBron James way better than the sequel with LeBron James, but I'm going to show it to you when I do the VHS tapes. If you haven't seen the sequel of LeBron James, I heard it's a lot awesome, but I know many people have seen the first one with Michael Jordan, but they've been around long before the sequel came out. The next one I picked is a racing movie. Obviously, the next two are racing movies, but this one's a comedy and everybody's familiar with it. And I'm sure it's Talladega Nights, The Battle of Ricky Bobby, also with Will Ferrell. And this is one of Will Ferrell's funniest movies, Kicking and Screaming. It's not as funny as this or Step Brothers, even though Step Brothers is not a sports movie. But this is about Will Ferrell's character, Ricky Bobby, who was born to race NASCAR. And at one point he does, and he becomes so good at it that he wins so many races. And he gets a huge mansion, and he has a wife and 2 kids. And then Sacha Baron Cohen's character comes along, and it turns out that he's better than he is. After a near-death experience crash that Ricky Bobby has about losing the will to race again, he gets his father, played by Gary Cole, to help him out a little bit, even though he was really harsh on him when Ricky Bobby was growing up. If you want a good auto racing movie, this would be a good one to watch as far as comedy goes. I liked it since it first came out. That's it for the DVDs. Now on to the VHS tapes. The next one I picked is another racing movie, and this is the most well-known, and it Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise. And if you're a Tom Cruise fan, if you haven't seen this, you gotta check this out. It's pretty much all I've gotta say. Check that out if you're a Tom Cruise fan and if you're a fan of NASCAR like me. And the next one I picked is another golf comedy, kind of like Caddyshack, that stars Adam Sandler, and it's Happy Gilmore. And this is one of the funniest Adam Sandler movies next to Billy Madison. This is about Adam Sandler's character who with everything with him, has always wanted to play hockey. He would play high school hockey, and every time he's trying to get into the NHL, he fails miserably, and then he finds out that his grandmother's house is going to get repossessed unless he and his grandma can get $270,000 to the IRS in a certain amount of time. And then Adam Sandler's character discovers he was really good at golf, and so he decides to join a PTA tour in order to win some money. And his grandmother's house and his grandmother's and get his grandmother's house back. It's a really funny movie. Like I said, it's one of the funniest Adam Sandler's movies ever made next to Billy Madison. And one of the most memorable scenes in this movie is when Adam Sandler and Bob Barker are fighting one another. The next one I picked is a football comedy. It's Necessary Roughness with Kathy Ireland, Scott Bollica, Harley James Kozak, Robert Loggia, the mascot, Cynthia, and Hector Elizondo. This movie needs no introduction. Just watch if you like college football. The next one I picked is a inspirational sports movie, and it's Remember the Titans. I have two inspirational sports movies from Disney, and this is one of them. Stars Denzel Washington, Will Patton, Donald Faison, Nicole Ari Parker, and a few others. It's made by Jerry Bruckheimer, and if you're a fan of a movie based on true stories, this will be a good one to check out. This movie absolutely needs no introduction, even if you're a fan of football movies or films based on true stories. The next one is another film based on a true story, and it's The Rookie. This is actually a remake. I don't even own a copy of the original, nor have I seen the original. That stars Dennis Quaid, one of my favorite actors, and it's based off the true story where Jimmy Morris plays a father, a chemistry teacher, and a high school baseball coach, and he blew out his soldier at one point when he was playing in 1999, when he promises his high school football team that he'll start trying out again if they make it to a district and they go to states. Once he starts trying out again, he eventually makes it to the big leagues. I kind of ruined the movie for you by saying that, but this is still a really good movie. It also stars Rachel Griffiths, Jay Hernandez, and Brian Cox. It also stars Angus T. Jones, who is best known for playing Jake Harper on 2.5 Men. About almost 7 years ago, he retired from acting, and he's completely unrecognizable nowadays. I think he's really religious now. I thought I'd say about that. And the next one I picked is Air Bud, where this mean-spirited clown abuses this dog, and the dog runs away, and this kid named Josh Bram, it says here, apparently he's new in this town, and he has having a hard time fitting in, and he finds the dog and asks if he wanted to keep him, and then he finds out that he could play really good at basketball. And it says that the dog can play basketball, so he let him in. This is another classic sports movie. There are also sequels to this film, which I'm not going to bother getting since they're not as good as the first one. The next one I picked is number one of Disney's best sports films, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen it, and it's Angels in the Outfield, with Danny Glover, Tony Danza, and Christopher Lloyd. It's basically about a kid who he and his friends are stuck in the foster home because apparently their parents didn't raise him very well, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, his mom died and his dad didn't raise him very well, and then one day when he comes to visit him and says that he is going up north, Joseph Gordon-Levitt asks if they'll be family again, and his dad said when the Angels won a pennant then he's eligible. Joseph Gordon-Levitt prays for the Angels to come down and help the team win and play better. Like I said, this is another good Disney sports film that I'm pretty sure a lot of people have seen. The next one I picked is a soccer movie, The Big Green, and this is another funny film. It's about Olivia Diabo playing this British school teacher who moves from England to Alma, Texas, which is one of the smallest towns in the U.S. She moves there to be a school teacher, and apparently the teaches kids who are all troublemakers and just grew around a lot, and she gets them to form a soccer team to get to know them better. Apparently Steve Guttenberg is her partner, who plays as the sheriff. This is another film, and it stars a lot of the child actors from a lot of well-known sports movies around this, like Squints and Ham from The Sandlot in this. Alpha from The Little Rascals is in this, too. And the next one I picked is Little Giants with Mick Moranis and O'Neill. Of course, Rick Moranis resumed acting a few years ago because he was going to retire so he can take care of his kids and try to be with them. This is about Rick Moranis and A. O'Neill, who play brothers who have been at each other's throats since they were little kids. A. O'Neill's character starts a Pee-wee football team. When Rick Moranis finds out that his daughters didn't get picked and their friends didn't get picked, they decide to start their own team, and they practice day after day to help them win for the big game. They plan with Rick Moranis' team versus A. O'Neill's team. This is a really funny football movie. I enjoyed this one myself. Let's make 2 stacks of VHS tapes. Now, the next 3 are films in the trilogy that a lot of people are familiar with, and it's all 3 Mighty Ducks movies. The first Mighty Ducks movie is about Emilio Estevez's character, who plays a rich lawyer, and he ends up getting arrested for drunk driving and driving under the influence. One of his probation is to spend 500 hours of community service, coach Pee-wee hockey to a bunch of pain-in-the-ass kids, and it turns out that they really suck at hockey. So he tries to think of ways to help them win better, like by cheating. At one point, he yells at one of the kids, and one of the kids says he can't make me cheat, and then everyone else gets mad for that. So he thinks that maybe he should start having a little bit more fun teaching the kids about winning or losing. He then learns that not winning is everything to him in life. The first Mighty Ducks is awesome. The second Mighty Ducks is pretty much the same story as the first one, except in this one they play in the Junior Goodwill Games representing Team USA. And the third one, same story as the first 2, except in this one they play high school hockey and they get a new coach, and apparently Emilio Estevez is working with the Junior Goodwill Games and won't have time to coach the Ducks. The entire trilogy each have the same plot, except that's just a different style of hockey, but still I enjoy these movies quite a bit. And the next one is another baseball comedy. It's Rookie of the Year. It's about this kid who really sucks at baseball. At one point, when he breaks his arm, he has to wear a cast the whole entire summer, and when he gets his off, they find out that his tendons have healed way too tight. And when he's playing baseball with his friends and he's pitching, he pitches like really fast. So the Chicago Cubs decided to pick him as a pitcher, and Gary Busey is actually like his partner, and Daniel Stern directed this movie, shows him the ropes and stuff on how to pitch as well. This is another funny film, but Rookie of the Year and The Sandlot were baseball comedies released in '93. But to me, Rookie of the Year wasn't as funny as The Sandlot, but still worth a look. And the next one is another cult classic, kind of like The Sandlot in a way. And ironically, Michael Jordan, who is in this movie, turns 60 next month. And it's Space Jam, which also stars Bugs Bunny. This is basically about the Looney Tunes meeting these aliens that come from outer space, who want to make them slaves run by their boss, voiced by Danny DeVito. And so the Looney Tunes decided to challenge them to a basketball game, but they don't know anything about basketball. So they alert the aid of Michael Jordan to help them out and play with them in order to beat the aliens. Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody loves this movie. They've been around long before the sequel came out, LeBron James. And like I say, it's been a cult classic since it first came out. And last but not least, one I picked is an Olsen Twins favorite, but it's a soccer movie. And it's Switching Goals with Mary-Kate and Ashley. And of course, Mary-Kate and Ashley are best known for playing Michelle Tanner on Full House. This movie is about the Olsen twins who are opposites growing up in Evansville. Their dad is a soccer coach, and he assigned his twin daughters to co-ed soccer teams. With the twins not thrilled and finding it difficult, they switch teams, but their mom catches them, and the twins have to go back to their original teams. When everyone else is mad at them, the twins quit soccer, but their dad refused to let them give up. But their dad refuses to let them give up. Excuse me. Their mom becomes the new soccer coach to refute her husband and got her teams in the finals. And at the finals, one of the soccer players got injured while blocking a kick and is replaced by one of the twins. With two teams becoming co-champions, the twins each have their own boyfriends, and the two couples began dating. If you're also a Twins fan, especially back in the early 2000s, I'm sure this is another pretty good film to watch. Alright guys, that's it for this movie collection video when I'm talking about my favorite sports films. Next movie collection I'm going to do is when I'm going to talk about my favorite romantic films. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like the video, please be sure to share, subscribe, comment, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time for another video. This video is now adjourned.